First of all, guys, this movie is amazing. This is like everything I wanted from a Spider-Man movie, probably ever.
Great.
And it's so innovative. So how much of yourselves are in the characters you portray?
I think a lot.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, and you know what's even stranger? Like the more we get to know each other and the more we speak, I feel like somehow we just channel this energy.
Yeah.
And you can see it on screen because it feels very natural, very connected, and just full of love.
And I'm like, if you're gonna be the parents to this kid, Miles Morales, like you better be dope. You better have flavor. I was like, at the end of the day, he got that from us.
Yeah,
so
he sure
like,
did.
you know what I'm saying? Like we made you, so therefore. You know, and also when I found out that I was playing the husband to this woman right here, I knew I couldn't come off. I was like, you better step it up and do it now. So I was just I'm very honored, honestly, to play the father to Spider-Man. It's so rare that we get to see the father, the kinship
The
between
parents,
the parents,
you know, Spider-Man's parents, period.
And also the fact that he is from a bilingual, biracial house in Brooklyn. We love each other. We are there. We are this community raised him. You know what I mean? He can't go from one block to the next block without me knowing where he's at, or without people like
or when he's tagged,
tagging and stuff. You know what I mean? But like. What I really love the most about this movie is like at least 5 or 6 times in this movie you see Miles throw his arms around his father.
Yeah.
You see him look at his phone to call his mom or his dad as the first line of defense, and I think that is so special.
It actually reminded me the same relationship I have with my father, actually, because it was the same kind of thing growing up for me. My dad was almost the same kind of way.
Really?
Yeah. Now, obviously, you guys both have a different relationship with Miles. Talk to me about the relationship each of you have with Miles, or each of your characters have with Miles.
Well, it's interesting because we get asked that a lot, but I think it's more similar than people think. But I do think that overtly, you know, she's very compassionate and loving and nurturing and all of that. And that moment where, you know, she's trying to get him to get his hustle on in the morning, like, gotta go, let's get going. And she's in charge of the household and making sure everything runs a certain way. But at the end, you know, of that scene where she's saying in a minute, and just you know, showering him with kisses. And he, you know, which is very unusual for a 13-year-old boy to allow his mom to just sit, you know, keep kissing him until she's like had her fill. It just really speaks to, I think, their relationship. He feels loved, and he loves his mom. He loves his dad. I mean, they're the first thing in the morning. He's surrounded by this incredible love fest with these two people.
I want to take him to school. I still want to take him to school. A school that he has to sleep at. You know, that's where he's spending his time. But it's also just like, you know, he has this thing about feeling like he doesn't fit in and these aren't his people. I'm like, these are your people. This is where you belong. Even though we're showing like how the neighborhood is changing. I mean, this movie is such a commentary on what's going on.
Yes,
100%.
100%.
It's so crazy because we are New York natives. You know, well, she's a native. I've just lived there for like 13 years. But either way, there's a sense of ownership, you know what I mean, when it comes to this city, and when you've been there and your blood and sweat is in those stones, you know what I mean? And I feel like we are putting him out in the world to realize, hey, it's changing, but at the end of the day, this can still be yours.
Sure.
You know what I mean? This is still yours. And it's love beyond anything that you get in this movie, is that his parents love him. He leaves that house with love and he comes back home to it.
There's a great message in this movie that anybody can be Spider-Man, and anybody can be Spider-Man, but what do you guys want audiences to take away from this movie besides that?
I think that, you know, it's interesting because I think everybody does have their own superhero in them, right? But there's that moment where Miles is finally finds himself, right? And it's a true coming of age movie and coming to terms with his special powers and special abilities. And I feel like I want everybody to walk away knowing that everybody has that. You all have your own unique special power, special talent, special abilities. And all you need to do is to connect to that and be surrounded by surround yourself with people who believe in you, and that connection comes even that much faster, I think.
I mean, look, I watch movies and I get to interview cool people like you guys all the time, but never, at least from my modern memory, that I can think that watching a movie and had my jaw open as a 10-year-old kid, because this was amazing, exactly what I wanted.
Same.
Exactly.
I was like, my 13-year-old self would be bouncing off the walls like Miles was. It's so great.
I just wanted to say thank you guys. You guys
man, thank you.
Oh,
man,
thanks
that
for
means
that.
the world.
That's
Thank you so
really
much.
Of course,
nice.
man.